Hello Penguinauts, I'm the Beta Penguin and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program Fall of Kerbin. Now, we have the advantage in the north, Tape is on his back foot and it's time to ram our advantage home. It's time to attack in full force. So, we're doing something for the very first time in Fall of Kerbin. We're doing a combined arms assault, and that's aircraft and ground forces at the same time. So we moved our ground forces forward just about out of range of Tape's ground forces, and then we've flown in on our aircraft and we're about to attack. Now Tape's got 3 light tanks and 2 attackers, one of which has bombs, and we're attacking with 3 light tanks, a heavy tank and 3 attackers, all of which have bombs. And we're actually using the guard mode to drop these bombs because I thought maybe, you know, we need to attack with 3 aircraft at once to have the best chance of actually scoring the most hits. And I didn't want to launch another bomber. I wanted to have a lot of aircraft up in the air because Tape has air superiority at the moment, and I think he's going to keep that. And we really have got the advantage in the north, but Tape having air superiority is really bad, and next turn we seriously need to launch some fighters and do something about that. But for now we're just gonna have to live with it. We've got by far the advantage in terms of ground forces and morale and just generally being awesome. So anyway, here we go. So we've just told our attackers to go in and attack. Now the only way to get the guard mode to actually use the bombs is to drain the ammunition from it, so it can't use its guns. It's just a weird kink about BD guard mode. So as you see in the bottom left, we've got the miscellaneous Hyperedit tool, so I can just drain the ammo, and then once they've dropped their bombs, just put the ammo back in so they can fight again. I've done the same for one of Tape's aircraft. I asked him, Tape, do you want to attack my tanks first or my aircraft first? He said, tanks! So it's going straight after my tanks, that Peregrine with bombs down there. But here we go, we're lining up on the enemy, and this is completely controlled by the AI guard mode. This is not being controlled by me. And there we go, bombs away on those tanks. And then I tell them to get the hell out of dodge because we don't really want to be too close to those anti-aircraft guns. I tell them to turn around and GTFO, and we're going to try and get them out of range of those anti-aircraft guns before they can swivel around, and then we're going to take out those aircraft if our anti-aircraft guns don't take them out first. Now that Peregrine with bombs is going straight for my tanks. It's not wasting any time whatsoever gaining altitude, it's just going straight at them. I think Tape set his default altitude for his biplanes to be a little bit too low because it's just skimming the ground going straight after them. Now our bombs hit the ground, but they all miss, unfortunately. The AI guard mode clearly isn't particularly good with bombs when you're above about 1 kilometer in altitude, so none of those bombs hit, and oh dear, the 20 mils start ripping into us. Oh, okay, there goes one captain. Oh, there goes another one. Oh, that's not good, is it? No. One captain, though, does manage to get out of harm's way just about in time, but no, these two didn't really stand a chance. They just get blown out of the sky. Tell this one to continue flying. I think, okay, we didn't do any damage to those ground forces, so we're just going to try and get the hell out of dodge. Our anti-aircraft guns are opening up on Tape's attackers, though. So the one that's going in for a bombing run, I don't think it ever really stood a chance, did it? Going in on its lonesome. So yeah, it just gets annihilated before it gets anywhere near enough to drop bombs. However, the second one is a little bit wiser. It doesn't have any bombs, so it decides to disengage from my ground forces and heads after my one remaining captain. It's going to try and shoot us down, trying to finish us off. Well, we cannot allow this to stand. We're gonna go teach him a lesson. So we turn around our captain and it's time to engage while our ground forces are fighting fiercely below. It's time to take out this final Peregrine. So we just open up with our 30 cals. It starts flying away from us, so that means they can get their tail gunner on us. And yeah, this tail gunner is starting to give us a little bit of trouble. See, it's starting to open up on us, and we need to dodge about quite a bit while also trying to keep on target. I do remember the lesson I learned the hard way with my bomber last turn. Yeah, don't get too close to those tail gunners because they're pretty damn accurate. If you get too close to them, they just rip into you. So yeah, they are getting hits on us, but that's only superficial damage. That's only a tiny little chunk of our wing. I think that's one of our flag decals. Nothing serious. We're still on the enemy, and the most important thing here is that we're actually pushing this Peregrine towards our ground forces. Now, we've actually found, Tape and I, that aircraft without bombs, they won't actually engage ground units anymore. They'll actually fly around out of range and they'll fly away. And we've changed the rules so that if we don't want our aircraft to attack ground units, they can fly away. If you attack with ground units against aircraft which don't have bombs, you're allowed to just withdraw them, because some people complain about me attacking with ground units. But there we go, we've driven it into our ground units. We get a good hit on it, and then the 20 mils open up, and yeah, it doesn't stand a chance. It's just getting shredded by a hail of 20mm shells. Are they shells? They're cannon I guess? Are 20mm count as shells? I'm not entirely sure. I have no idea. And there we go! Annihilated. At this point, it does occur to me, I'm getting pretty damn close to Tape's anti-aircraft guns. Oh dear, let's GTFO. Run! Oh no, we get a big chunk of wing blown off, but we can still fly. I tried to get as low down as possible, see if we can get some ground in between us and the enemy tanks. And there we go, we just about get out of range with our lives. We had a big chunk of wing blown off, but this aircraft is still pretty operational. We've got a very, very skilled pilot in command. Obviously, Kruolan pilots are unparalleled, completely unparalleled, apart from Manfred, who had to go, you know, die. God damn it, Manfred! You were meant to inspire the people. I mean, Manfred never died. He lives forever. Yes, he's. Oh god, he's dead, isn't he? Anyway, so we're gonna get that biplane that kept him well out of harm's way, and then we're attacking with our tanks, and now we have a heavy tank, and this gives us a huge advantage. It's got a 3-inch gun, which means it has a big firing arc, which means it can fire out from over hills, while Tape's tanks can't actually return fire. So we get a few opening volleys in, and there we go. We're getting 3-inch shells straight into Tape's Minotaurs, which they don't really react well to. And then, while they're starting to focus on our PT-1, we send our SM-1 straight at them, and then we get this SM-1 to just sneak round the side and go in for a flanking maneuver. I don't think they ever really stood a chance. Now, Tape's using these big quad mounts, which means they can't actually swivel their turrets particularly fast at all, whereas we're using really accurate, really fast-turning twin mount 20mm. So yeah, we just go and come in from the side and just shred it. The second one does see us and starts to open fire on us, but we're using its destroyed comrade to actually, as a bit of a shield, as a bit of cover, so it can't really get many shots on us. And also these quad mounts are just hopelessly inaccurate. They spray a load of fire everywhere, but they really can't hit anything. Also, I mean, Kerthenian gunners, man, they're just terrible. And there we go, the second tank is destroyed. And there we have it. The day is ours. Tape has lost 2 attackers and 3 light tanks for the cost of our 2 attackers. And now, of course, all we have to do is bring in our captain for a bit of an unstable landing. So it's slightly shaky. I think I'm going to crash into the lip here, so I pull up at the last second and we just about get over it. And I'm not entirely sure what happens here. I thought we touched down pretty gently, but then we just sort of flip out. I don't know if the pilot's trying to show off their acrobatic skills or whatever, but we don't take any damage. We seem to have a lot of pretty interesting landings with these aircraft, don't we? But there we go, everything's alright. So we bring up our supply unit, since our forward operating base is only 70 kilometers away, so our supply unit that we had at our forward operating base, I'm gonna fail to say that many times, aren't I? But that repairs all our units, refuels all our units, and gets them all rearmed, and then we dig in. Now, we don't have air superiority. I think Tape's going to make us pay for that next turn, but we're well dug in. If he attacks with a ground assault, as you can see, we've got our SM-1s hiding behind crests of hills, hiding behind parts of the forward operating base, and then we've got that PT-1 up on the highest part of that runway so that it can lob 3-inch shells at anything for 5 kilometers in front of it. So anything coming from Valley's Guard is going to have a pretty bad day trying to attack this. And our captain has bombs, and now we know that the guard mode can actually use bombs relatively effectively, although obviously not a great example earlier, but it should be pretty impregnable. Anyway, we still have a Blackheart 612 bomber left over from, I think it's the one from 2 turns ago actually. And this turn I decided to launch it from our forward operating base, so not the one that we just took, but the previous one that we launched our assault from. And I was planning to go bomb Osiris Bay. I thought, let's just stretch Tape out as much as possible. But then I bumped into the USS Yorick, which is a Rapier class cruiser which is heading to intercept the KUS Nick Smith, which I thought was being sneaky, trying to sneak around to Osiris Fortress, but Tape, he did see it, For some reason, its engines explode. I'm not entirely sure. I tried this a couple of times. Engines exploded every time. But whatever, you know, we're just going to do this anyway. It's only the engines falling off. So I just decided, okay, we're going to drop 2,000 pounds of bombs. So we drop 4 250 pounders and then a single 1,000 pounder just behind it. Because then we still have 3,000 pounds to head on to Osiris Bay with if we so choose. I just wanted to see whether we could actually bomb this effectively. You know, if the anti-aircraft fire is too thick and we can't really do enough damage, I thought, okay, we'll just do a little test run. So I switched to it and then have a look at the hail of 37mm fire erupting into the air. I'm not sure if it gets, I think it gets, it gets a handful of the bombs. I think it gets 2 of them, but then the 1,000 pounder and a 250 pounder just whack into the deck and take out the bridge. Now, I actually came around for a second run on this, but for some reason my recording software stopped working, which is really unfortunate. But I decided, you know what, let's finish this off. So I came around for a second run, dropped the rest of my bombs, took out its forward turrets, its boiler, and a load of structural plating. Yeah, the Yorick is very much destroyed. It's a shame I couldn't show you that second run, but the KUS Nick Smith can continue on undeterred. Anyway, in the south, our southern fleet has finally been resupplied by a supply unit. So they have a load more fuel, more ammunition. Our little classes have now got a load more torpedoes, and with this they're moving forward. Now Tape's got 2 Rapier classes, the USS Condor and the USS Avenger. They're just about out of range of our fleet, so I decided to move our fleet just about in spitting distance of them, and also spitting distance of his forward operating base, so we should be able to wreak some havoc next turn if he can't stop us. And also, we're launching another battleship. This is the KUS Avino, and it's linking up with our 2 destroyers which we launched last turn, the KUS Jesse Lee and the KUS Still Guns. And this is a pretty massively revised design of the King class. It's got 9 12-inch guns instead of the 15-inch guns. So they're more fast firing, the turrets swivel much faster, and basically they're just better in every way for the advantages that the battleship currently has. Furthermore, our submarine is getting pretty damn close to Tape's supply chain. Tape's merchant sailors better watch out. But there you have it, everybody. Fall of Kerbin, turn 7. Thank you very much for watching. We hit Tape pretty damn hard. We only need one more decisive battle in the south for us to push him out of the island chain. He's destroyed in the north. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and I will see you all next time when we will try to gain air superiority.